boy, this looks kind of nice out here. I like it. Um, Notice, by the way, that the excuse Reverend Powell gives to Icy and Walt about where his wife, because he says his wife left him, he killed her, and then he just says she ran away. She ran away to have sex with a drummer. That his explanation for where she went involves a hatred of women's sexuality. That she was loose. And there's a line in the movie that you might have heard but not quite understood, because an odd turn of phrase. But he says the pitcher went to the well once too often. Where the pitcher goes to the well to get the water. But the idea is that the pitcher went to the well once too often means it's been overused and is now ruined. A clay pitcher, for example, might start to disintegrate if you carry too much, if you use it too much, too often. The idea is that women, the more sex they have, the less valuable they are, and the more broken and more ruined and more worthless. And that she had had so much sex before he got to her that she was already wrecked. And that's why it's not his fault that she ran away. The misogyny is everywhere in this movie. And there's one other really heartbreaking place where it shows up, which is even the old lady who we love, and she's a force of powerful cosmic good, repeats over and over again, women are fools. These women are such fools. Look at these kids making out, and I'll probably be taking care of the result because they're going to have sex and have a kid, and she takes care of lost children. And again, she's sweet. We like her. I don't mean to suggest that she's kind of some kind of horrible misogynist. She's actually quite kind and quite sweet. She's amazingly sweet to Ruby. But the point is that even she speaks like that. But so many characters express this kind of dislike or frustration, even jokingly. And that old lady's kind of kidding. Women are fools. But she's, she feels like it doesn't seem as bad when it comes out of her mouth. But it's not great. She doesn't say people are fools. She says women are fools. So in a serial killer story, there's evil in the world and evil's over there, and you capture the serial killer and you've defeated evil. Good job. It's comforting. It doesn't seem comforting because you think a movie about people getting murdered is comforting, but it is, because it says you can handle it. This movie is not comforting because the evil, the misogyny, and the hatred is all over the place. It's in the Bible. It's in Birdie. It's in Icy. It's even in that old lady. It's in John's dad. So many people express this dislike of women, and it runs through the whole movie. Okay, cool. We're doing good. Let's talk about some other kinds of larger theme kind of stuff. Oh God, isn't it heartbreaking when Pearl sings the little song about hang, hang, hung? Like, she doesn't understand what she's saying, but the kids are making fun of their dad being hung in prison. I forgot to also mention there's another character. A minor character you can easily imagine being edited out of the movie, but it's actually kind of wonderful, is the prison guard. He goes to a hanging at the beginning of the movie because he sees John's dad get hanged. Hanged for people, hung for pictures. He sees John's dad get hanged, and he goes home to his. And it's a little tiny thing, but the prison guard goes home, and he's very sad because he's seen a man die today, and he talks to his wife. And he says, sometimes I want to quit working in a prison and go back to a coal mine. And she says, it's so dangerous, make me a widow, you got to keep that job. But he doesn't want to watch human beings die. But you can see this is a world, and this is one of the next things I'm going to get to, where jobs are so scarce and so difficult that you're better off watching human beings die than going working in a coal mine. And he checks on his children, and that fits into the larger theme of the movie, which is about taking care of children. So he's this very sweet guy who feels bad about someone being killed at the prison, even though that guy did it. He definitely robbed the bank. So he feels bad about the guy getting the death penalty, and he checks on his children, and he wishes he could have another job. He seems like a sweet, nice guy. And then at the end of the movie, you check in with him, and they're like, "We're gonna hang Reverend Powell," and he's like, "Glad to do it." And again, it's totally fine to say Reverend Powell is a serial killer and he should be killed. But in the context of this movie, you're welcome to believe that serial killers deserve the death penalty. But it's worth pointing out that in this movie, there's something kind of disturbing about how quickly ordinary people like Icy and Walt, who get their axe and their rope, and all the townspeople are ready to kill. And then the guard, who's the only thing I know about that guy, is that he doesn't like killing. He doesn't like watching people be killed, is like, I'm excited, let's kill this guy. Geez, so there's a really rotten current running through this whole movie, and that people are lost and people are violent and people hate women, it fits into a larger thing as well, which is about kind of this kind of larger destruction of America. The Great Depression was this sort of economic collapse in the 20s. And in the movie, it's heartbreaking to see the level of devastation. And it's referenced multiple times in the movie, but the reason why it's a hard world for little ones is that the economy is terrible. And so John and Pearl, so here, for example, why did John's dad steal the money? Because he sees children all over America starving to death, and he's scared his children will end up like that they'll end up starving. And so he gets the money, not because he wants to buy jewelry and perfume for his wife, but because he wants his children to be protected from the fate that befalls so many children in America, which is to go hungry and to be alone. By the way, but of course, his robbery adds to the evil, and his children do end up alone, and they do end up hungry, and they have to go begging for food. And when they do, there's a ton of other little kids who are also begging for food. So many that the woman giving out food to children, they stop by this one lady's house and she gives them food. She's not like, children, take my food and live. She's like grumpy about it. She's like mad about it. She doesn't want to feed these rotten kids. And she'll only give them one potato to split between the two of them, and they pretty much got to eat it raw. So it's not like people are starving and they're hungry, and this is a broken America, an America where Birdie can't call the police because they'll arrest him. A world where so many children are in poverty that people are driven to commit robbery because of sort of the terrible economic situation. It's an incredibly disturbing kind of thing. Okay, cool. Oh, I forgot to mention back on the misogyny thing. Sorry, I keep looking at my notes. I forgot to mention on the misogyny thing, there's a great line too. When Shelley Winters is about to go to her, she thinks she's going to have sex with Powell for the first time since it's her wedding night. And on the way out of the bath, she's primping in the bathroom to look pretty, and then she stops, his coat is hanging on the door, and she looks in there and she sees the knife, and she goes, men. Like, that's a red flag, right? That your preacher husband is walking around with a switchblade all the time. By the way, the whole point of a switchblade is to conceal it. It's like a concealed weapon. You can hide it. He's not carrying around a machete where everybody would know. It's a hidden weapon, so he can stab people when they don't know it's coming. It's not a tool like a saw that has another purpose. It's just for killing people and for hiding it on your person so you can get away with killing people. Good, cool. Also, and this is really, I don't know, I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. It really cracks me up that Shelley Winters, in the mom in this movie, this guy marries her, and he's not interested in her at all. He's really interested in her children, the money they have. It was incredibly sad to see this because Shelley Winters, the actress, is in another movie directed by Stanley Kubrick, who did The Shining in 2001, a movie called Lolita. And in that movie, she plays a woman and this guy marries her, and he doesn't like her at all. He's only marrying her to get at her child. But in this case, Lolita is an underage girl who he's planning on raping and does a lot. So it's just crazy to me that Shelley Winters is in 2 movies where she plays a woman who marries a guy who's only interested in her because of her children. Like, what a weirdly specific plot trajectory for her to kind of go on. Okay, good. This is going good. Cool. I think we're doing pretty good. Yep, making our way through the things. Okay. Yeah. So the other thing I want to talk about now is we need to talk more about the old lady. She is amazing, and I love her. Movies often show forces of evil, big cosmic bad guys and Satan and all this stuff, but they tend to be the person fighting the forces of evil tends to be it's like regular people versus evil. What I like about this movie is it does something that's much more rare, which is it suggests there is evil in the world, but there is also a cosmic source of good. There is a big force of good. The old lady, if lots of movies, there's a guy who represents evil, and ordinary people oppose him. But in this movie, there's a force that represents evil, that's Powell, and ordinary people oppose him, that's John. But that there is a force of cosmic good that is on John's side, that he's guided by bigger, more powerful forces in the form of the lady and her Bible, and her different reading of the same book, her different interpretation of the same book. So I'll see you guys in the next video.